Because some men will see you as just a trophy. Okay, they will date you to boost their social status, to boost their ego, to say they had dated the most beautiful girl and dump you.
If you're a pretty girl, you might struggle with this. This isn't a therapist point of view. I have to explain this to my clients because they don't get it. But I'll have a gorgeous client come in, like a 10, and she'll be like, why is this? I'm like, sweetie, it's because of how you look. And so I have to break it down for them. Then I also have to like teach them how to be more cautious and then how to handle themselves because of what they look like. There's a whole shift in it. So if you're constantly complimented on your looks, there are higher risks for you, okay? In work, in school, in religion, and whatever you do, people are anxiously waiting to see you fail, okay? They want to see you fail and then spread it like wildfire. It really helps soothe their ego. They really want to know that you're not perfect. You might have had trouble having really good friends, or you feel isolated, lonely, because it's really hard to find women who are not in competition. Even your looks, and you could be the best person on the inside, but your looks could just trigger someone of their insecurity. You're a constant reminder for them. Also, a lot of women, if they see you as a threat, they're going to try to drag you to be extremely close to them because they want to be you. And some weird shiz happens. It's really weird. So psychologists say this, and it's so true. You are very polarizing. There's no neutral. So for women, some women might see you and be like inspired and look up to you and want to be your friend. And then other women might look at you and hate your guts, look for gossip, look for all the wrong things. And then for men, they might see you and be excited to talk to you, want to take you out. And then the other side of men is they're insecure and they think that you're just going to reject them. So they're just going to hate you first. I find that women who are known for their looks have to do double the work to prove that they're smart, to prove that they're a good worker. I find it's just really interesting. Also, people might think that you earn things because of the way you look. And that is so degrading and annoying of like, nope, I worked my butt off for this. But it could be true that you did get someone because of your looks, and that's called pretty privilege. But again, you just have to work a lot harder. So you kind of embrace all the good and negative sides to you. You just kind of learn to be yourself, and you can succeed a lot more when you embrace being beautiful, embrace being pretty, and not see it as a bad thing. And of course, it's not a bad thing to be pretty, but there are just pros and cons to everything.
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Sis on Space and we talk everything girlfriend. So today I have a topic which is signs you have pretty privilege. I know this topic might be triggering for a lot of people because when we talk about pretty privilege, it's not really a specific type of look, even though people like to say, oh, you have to look like this person, you have to look like that person. Being pretty has no specific look. It depends on how you see yourself, how you treat yourself, and like your own aura. You don't look up to someone who is different from you and think they're prettier than you. At the end of all of this, I know girls when we're younger who weren't pretty, but now when you see them, they look way beautiful. And I know other girls who were very beautiful when we were young, and now they don't look anything like pretty privileged, just because, in my opinion, I feel they stop taking care of themselves. They let the stress in life get a hold of them, and they stop living like the childlike self that they are. Because mind you, when you're stress-free, taking care of yourself and on your purpose, you glow from inside. So it's all from your inside and how you see yourself, how you treat yourself. The inner work you do can give you pretty privilege. So it has no specific look, okay? Because beauty is different from everyone. There are countries that you go that you'll be so pretty, and there are some countries that you go and you won't be pretty. So wherever you are, just know you're very beautiful. This is not to shame anyone or to classify some people beautiful or not. With all the disclaimer being said, let's go to signs that you have pretty privilege everywhere most of the time. Okay, so the first sign you have pretty privilege is you get a lot of stares from children. Children actually look at you like, you know, when kids see you, when people see you like strangers, they try to break their neck, whether they're in car or they're just walking in the gym or even when you walk into a place, you feel the energy shift towards you. Darling, that is a sign you have pretty privilege. Or maybe if cars are in traffic, you realize a lot of people in the car are staring at you. You get random stares, do kids stare at you? Do kids tell you look beautiful? Believe it, you have pretty privilege. I mostly see, but this is a little bit too flirtatious, men with their wives and kids at the back winking. And I'm like, boy, bye. Okay? Because I'm not trying to I'm not trying to flirt with your wife sitting next to you. Some men take it too far. But if you get those kind of physical symptoms from people or behaviors from people, that shows you have pretty privilege. And the second sign that you have pretty privilege is you get, like, people are nice to your face. Like, random people are just nice to you. You could just be walking and people just give you way to pass. And maybe you're running to a door and someone will hold the door for you. Or men will just open doors for you. People will just give you free stuff, discounts. Just being so nice. They just smile at you in public for no reason. People just offer to help you for no reason. We all gravitate towards things that we find beautiful, okay? If someone isn't beautiful, you don't really care to do stuff for them. So if people are just, especially men, are trying to be nice to you, or just random strangers are trying to be nice to you, that means you're very pretty and you should be proud of yourself, girl. And the third sign you have pretty privilege is your female friends are jealous of you, or you mostly fall into jealous friendship type, and these girls are very protective of their men around you. This is a telltale sign. If you find your friends tend to envy you, or anytime you make friends they end up being jealous of you, even if they have more than you, and they're very protective of their men, you are very beautiful, and your beauty makes them feel very, very insecure. You have a threatening kind of beauty, inside and out, okay? They are scared you might seduce their man, or you might get the attention of their man, and they want to be you. They want to look like you, okay? So be careful. If you find your friends get very insecure when you're around their man, like they try to prevent you from getting close to their man to the extent that it's very alarming, you know? Like they don't want to see you even talking to their man. They are very, very insecure. And the fourth sign you have pretty privilege is all your male friends want to with you. Okay, they see you as an sex object. All your male friends want to sleep with you. There is no day you've had a genuine male friend who hasn't asked you out, attempted to have anything like anything sexual with you. Nothing. All your male friends see you as an sex object. That's how they see you. You are very attractive. Okay, if you fall into that kind of friendship situation, that means your male friends find you very attractive. You're very beautiful. So that is a plus for you. Don't feel bad about it, but don't let them sleep with you either. If you let them sleep with you, that's on you. You're wasting your pretty privilege. Because one thing I've noticed is some women, when they're pretty and they're insecure, they let men use them and sleep with them because they don't know their value yet. So if you realize most of your male friends are trying to do that with you, be careful and don't give yourself away. Otherwise, by the time you realize and know your value, you would have smashed the whole football team. And that is not what we are trying to do. Value yourself. Even if you don't feel beautiful right now, still value yourself. That's the only privilege you can have over a pretty girl who doesn't know her value. Okay, if you think you're not pretty, be very conservative when it comes to your body and yourself. That's one thing you have over pretty girls. And the fifth sign that you have pretty privilege is guys stare at you but they don't approach you. You ask me, Siska, why do you say that? Why is it that guys stare at me? Why am I beautiful and guys stare at me and they don't approach me? Why? Because mostly some men or most men find pretty women intimidating, and they also feel like you are mean or you will be mean or rude to them, and they don't want to be rejected. Because what happened, most men when they were younger in school got rejected by the beautiful girls because they were very big-headed. I mean, if you're a young girl and a lot of people are telling you you're beautiful, you don't mostly like to be, you're sassy. You don't want to like give your classmates any kind of chance to talk to you or anything. So those men project onto you. They feel like, oh, she'll be mean, or she has a lot of mail in her phone. She's talking to a lot of people. Meanwhile, you're single. Most pretty women are lonely because of that, because men are afraid that you are taken and they might be interrupting you, or you turn out to be rude, or you reject them. So they'll just stare at you and walk by. Don't feel bad. It's actually intimidating to them. They feel intimidated by your beauty. And the fifth sign is people tend to be mean to you first. Like someone will just ignore your text message, or just delay your text message just to humble you. People are outright be mean to you first. Why? Because they feel you will be mean to them first. So they tend to be mean to you first. That is a sign that you also have pretty privilege. They don't want to be hurt by the beauty. In fact, not even that. They like to get the ego boost that they were able to be mean to a beautiful person. They were able to delay the text message of a beautiful person. You texted them and they're like, oh, the most beautiful girl texted me. Well, I'll just wait for a while. They just get some ego boost from the fact that they can ignore your message or delay your message. So they just outright become mean to you because it gives them ego boost. What's more boosting than ignoring a text coming from someone who they deem very beautiful? That's a sign you have pretty privilege, or you're very beautiful. I always tend to lose count when I'm doing videos. So the next sign is you realize people don't like you for whatever reason. Like you did nothing wrong. Probably they don't even know you, but they've heard about you, or they just saw you and automatically they feel intimidated, or they feel you'll be mean, so they don't like you. People don't like pretty people for their own personal reasons. You'll find out people don't like you for any reason, or people don't compliment you a lot because they think or they feel you'll be big-headed when they tell you. They'll just be like, oh, I bet she's beautiful, so if me telling her, I'll be like every other person. So they don't tell you're beautiful. And sometimes you walk into a place, or you enter into like a new school, you're the new girl in the school, and people hate you, they bully you, they just attack you for just being pretty. I know, I've heard stories. I actually know when I was younger, some girls were being like, how do I say, like, girls would jump them. Other girls would jump them just because they're beautiful. They did nothing wrong. They're just beautiful. And people would just jump on them for being beautiful. Why? Because they are threatening. They feel they are a threat. Meanwhile, those people, even when that happens, they hate being beautiful. They don't even want to look the way they look. So if you're beautiful, or if you hear a lot of people telling you're beautiful, be careful. That could be threatening to other people's own self-esteem, which has nothing to do with you, okay? And the next sign is people tell you, oh, like maybe when they get close to you or they become your friend later, they'll be like, oh, I thought you were BITCH before. Or they'll say, oh, I thought you were intimidating before. Meanwhile, maybe you're very humble. When you hear people say that, oh, I thought you'd be a BITCH, or I thought you'd be mean before I got to know you, that means you're very beautiful. If you get that comment most of the time, you're very beautiful. Like people say, oh, I think she'll be mean, or I think you were mean. They find you very attractive, because people don't just say that to just anybody. Unless you're really beautiful, and they assume because you are beautiful and you are beautiful, you feel you're high, so you'll be mean to people. That's a telltale sign that you're beautiful. And another sign that you're very beautiful is people like to gossip or talk about you a lot. If you find out that any little thing you do blows up, like you could just walk by a certain shop that you've never entered before, and people will be like, oh, she went to shop at this shop. Or you could just buy a new watch, like something very, very simple. Like it could be anything. Like you bought something new and everybody will be talking about you. Or you could just leave a room and everybody will start gossiping and talking about you. Or you find most of or not just your friends, but other female friends imitating your style and everything, like your mannerism. You are very beautiful. If you find people gossiping about you, like everywhere you go, you realize everybody's talking about you, or you hear lots of rumors about you from people, they really like you. They are all your fan. Girl, you're so drop dead beautiful. You are very, very beautiful. If you find out you are the influencer in your own group or any group you find yourself, you tend to be like the Regina of the group. Like, they make you the leader without you even asking to be. Everywhere you go or any friendship group you find yourself, you are, girl, you are drop dead gorge. Okay, you should walk around like, that means girls find you beautiful. And the 10th one and the last one is your ex-boyfriends or guys tend to act crazy when you break up with them. Do you find your exes hating you so much or talking trash about you when you break up with them? Like, you make guys bitter when you dump them, and they go crazy, or they shop and do crazy stuff. They do crazy stuff because you hurt them, or you end up finding out that your ex took revenge on other girls when you dump them, or they blow up your phone, they stalk you. Like, if you find out an ex is doing anything crazy after you left them, that means you are the most beautiful girl they ever dated, because guys wouldn't act crazy over just any girl. They don't. Because 9 times out of 10, they might have options. They might even be dating girls less beautiful than you. But because you're the most beautiful one, when you dump them, it hurts them more than the rest of the other girls. That means you are very beautiful. So if you find your ex acting crazy, or you find your ex talking trash about you, or you find out they hate you so much and they can't get over you, you are one of the most beautiful girls they ever dated. And that should be a sign of pretty privilege. And a bonus tip, I always live with some bonus. The bonus tip to know you have pretty privilege is people gravitate towards you and they like to conversate with you a lot. Like, people don't mind having long, boring conversations with you. It could be about anything. It could be about the weather. It could be about the rain that fell this morning. It could be just anything boring. People don't mind having boring conversation with you. It could be your neighbor. It could be your teacher. It could be your senior in school. It could be your co-worker, like your boss. It could be anybody, just random people on the street. Just want to strike conversations with you. It could be the cashier at the shop. Why? Because they want you to stay longer in their face. They like what they are seeing. And they like maybe the way you are, how beautiful you are, your mannerism. So, to have that slow, boring conversation with you shows that they want to have you in their face most of the time. So, they'll just say anything just to keep the conversation going. That is a sign you have pretty privilege. Or maybe you could be walking down at a construction where people are having construction and all the men turn around and like just hail you and all of that. Or you could just be walking into the room and all the men like give you way like the queen, open the like. That's a sign you have pretty privilege. Don't take any of these lightly. If you've experienced at least 6-7 of these, you have pretty privilege. But if you've experienced like less of that, not really. You should work on your inner, your inner self to bring out the beauty. You should maintain your beauty, like your beauty, how do you say, your hygiene and your beauty routines and maintenance, okay? Because I believe everyone is capable of being the best version of themselves, the most beautiful version of themselves. So if you find any of these applying to you, like 7-8 signs of these applying to you, that tells you're really beautiful, and congratulations, because you are in the category of pretty privilege. And as a pretty girl, you shouldn't hang around women who are insecure or men who only see you as sex object, because you might become a victim of abuse, whether friendship abuse or sex abuse or just verbal abuse, because people just will treat you bad for no reason. Okay, people just want to treat you bad for no reason. People just want to bully you for no reason. Look at what happened to Regina in Mean Girls. People hated her for no reason. Fine, I know Regina was a little mean, but then people would cut her clothes and just plan bad things to her for no reason. So you should be careful of who you choose as a friend. If you find yourself having this kind of trait or seeing this kind of stuff, you should be very careful who you choose as friend, who you choose to date, because some men will see you as just a trophy. Okay, they will date you to boost their social status, to boost their ego, to say they had dated the most beautiful girl and dump you. Some men will just come into your life to use and dump you just to add to their credit so that other men will hail them, not because they really love you. People will come for you, just your beauty, so superficial. Even if you have brains, they wouldn't even know because they came for one thing and one thing only, which is your looks or your body. And they won't even think to see if you have brain or if you have a good heart. So be careful who you choose to mingle with if you're a pretty girl. And use your brain. Be very smart with how you date and move around with friendship. Be silent, be very selective, and listen to your gut. Be very observant of people before you choose them in your circle. So with that said, that's all I have for you, pretty girls. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.